Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our 2013 Sport and Race Boot Guide at RevZilla.com. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the key boots for 2013 for the sport riding and hardcore track day or race persuasion. In 2013, we've only seen a few new boots come out from different manufacturers. The staples in this lineup remain the staples, and they remain the staples for a reason. So we kind of pared it down for this year. We're giving you the best no-brainers of what's available. And remember, we have a detailed breakdown video on every boot on the table, and you can watch those videos as well as shop the entire collection by clicking here and visiting RevZilla.com/guides. Remember, we have guides for every different category of product rolling out into the spring of 2013. So the first boot in our lineup is the Cortech Latigo Air RR. There's also a waterproof version. You're looking at $150. I'm going to suggest you don't take this boot to the street. This is really an aggressive road riding, aggressive canyon riding boot that has a good amount of protection, bang for the buck factor. There's also an American cut to this boot, so be less worried about how it might fit compared to some of the other Euro options on the table. Notice reinforcement in the toe, reinforcement along the shin. In our opinion, they were able to pack a great amount of protection in a boot at a sub-200 price point. To me, that says, and again, I always say overpay for your sushi. If you're going to do hardcore track day or racing, you need to make that step up in investment. But for someone that wants to look the racer part or just have a beefed up level of aggressive riding protection, the Latigo RR Air should fit a lot of different riders. And again, you have that waterproof option. Moving to its left, we've immediately gone up a whole level. This is the SMX5 from Alpinestars. Alpinestars started as a boot company. They make boots at varying price points. In our opinion, if you're looking Alpinestars boots, this is the boot you should home in on unless you want to spend north of $300. Multiple colors, comes in a vented version, comes in a waterproof version, replaceable slider on the outside, around the $250 mark for the SMX5. It's been around for years. It's a boot riders continually are protected by and have an excellent experience with. You know, Alpinestars come in Euro sizes, but they have a bit more of an American fitment to them, so you have to be a little bit less worried about the width of them. Again, tech sole, nice big heel counter and protection, big shin protection on the front. This is our basic black version of the SMX5, but really it's a no-brainer option. I would love also to hear your feedback, your comments, your questions on the guide series that we put together for sport and race riding here. Leave them to us on RevZilla TV on our YouTube channel. Click right here to subscribe. Now I'm stepping out of aggressive sport riding, lightweight track day riding. Now I'm getting into our families that are much more technical for hardcore track day riders and or racers. The first boot in our lineup from that is really European style. What I have on the table is the Torque RS Out from Dainese. There's also a Torque RS in that goes inside the leather, so the only guys that do that. And notice on the Torque RS Out, that's going to come in around that $400 mark or just under. Upgraded stainless toe slider. You have a lateral heel slider. You have a big heel counter. The nice part about Dainese, they have the TRQ series, they have the Torque series, and you step up into Rossi's boot, which is that axial series. They come in and out from the back. There's an inner booty that's non-removable in its design. And notice, too, that there's this adjustable bellows system for calf height. You're seeing a mixture of Lorica actually in all of these boots. Many sport and race boots are going to use synthetic leather, which is Lorica or microfiber, because it's lighter weight, it's more durable, and there's no imperfections. In natural, Mother Nature-made cowhide, you're going to get imperfections, and on a boot, which is one of the most gnarly areas in most crashes that's going to touch down, having that lack of weak points by having imperfections is going to be a nice feature. It's going to be a feature that all of these boot manufacturers are thinking about for consistency and the protection to your foot. Notice also with the Torque series here with the RS, you have this D-axial hinge on the outside of the boot. And moving into 2013, I have the Torque RS here because they've changed the style a little bit. They've added some graphics to this boot, and they also have a new CE rating to play within the new European standard for sport and race boots. You can also get an idea of what the interior looks like as well. And I did mention the TRQ series, which is a little bit of a step down in functionality. They start around the $300 mark. Keep that in mind. Moving into our next boot, this is certainly the craziest from a tech perspective on the table. And when I say from a tech perspective, I just think of progressive forward thinking. This is the Sidi Vortice, currently being worn by Batista, Colin Edwards, Cal Crutchlow, a handful of guys in MotoGP, $495 using the monofilament Techno buckle, Techno fastener system. No laces on this boot. There's also no inner booty, but it uses this monofilament ratcheting system. There are 3 different ratchets, one on the top, one on the midpoint, and then one down here across the top or across the instep of your foot. And notice the amount of exposed screws here. So it's built for quick and easy getting in and out of it. Everything's replaceable. When you're starting to get into that $400 or $500 range for boots, keep in mind that you're buying an heirloom product. So whether it be toe sliders, whether it be the hinge system on the side, if you go down on the lateral side on this spine that's going to protect you at the ankle and from torsion against your leg, you can shear that off and replace it. The big heel counter along the back. Moving around to the inside, you're going to see the way that they finished it off, again with different compounds in areas that are going to perform differently when you go down. Sidi spent a lot of time and energy revamping the Vortice. It's been around for a few years. I will call out that it has a little bit of more of a narrow, it's more of a BC in its European sizing. That's the only complaint we hear about sometimes Dainese, and sometimes on the Sidi side is they run a bit more narrow than the A-Stars or some of the American counterparts. And I will call out too that all of the times I've ridden in before the Torque RS, it was the Torque Pro, the sole on the Dainese I think is one of the key selling points because it breaks in so quickly while still being very protective. The last boot in our lineup today is the Supertech R from Alpinestars. And really, I consider that to be the anchor for this category. $450 on just about every champion other than Rossi in the last decade. I mean, you think of your Stoners, think of your Lorenzos, think of, Marc Marquez is rocking these now on MotoGP. The whole lot of hardcore pros rocking Alpinestars are wearing Supertech Rs. It's a boot that performs extremely well. It's the only one with a full inner booty that has a dual hinge to it that's completely removable. So again, it has that dual hinge to take all of the pressure off your knee in a torsion style crash. Again, big ratchet up here, massive protection coming over the side in the TPU aspect of things, and you have this monster heel counter as well as a replaceable toe slider. Notice too that you have this big stretch panel along an externally mounted zipper that's going to allow for better ease in and out, and you know that Alpinestars now is doing a lot to make the ends of the legs of all of their race suits mesh or more lightweight so you get a better suit to boot connection. You can even see the way that it comes together at the top. In these hardcore boots at the top of the range, you can see the heat shield here on the inside, you're going to get great ventilation. You're going to get liners that are meant to design to wick sweat away, to have it expire out from the inside out of the boot to keep you cool. The whole point of race gear when you get into this level of investment is really to keep you comfortable, to keep you protected. And when both of those things are happening on the racetrack, you forget that you're wearing boots because you're seamlessly integrated with your bike and you're focused, and focus leads to not only better lap times, it leads to better safety on the track. So keep in mind, this full collection of boots, really some of these represent a range of boots from the manufacturers, but these are our staples for 2013 within the hardcore sport and pro level race side of things, part of our guide series at RevZilla.com/guides, and you can click right here to shop this collection. We have a detailed breakdown video for every boot in the collection at RevZilla.com. Keep in mind too, I'm going to call it out, we ship and exchange for free, and if you need any help walking through any of these boots at a detailed level, shoot our Gear Geeks a line, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. I'm Anthony, we'll see you next time.